Okay, I'm coming to you from my camper because I'm currently quarantined from school and from home. So we're going to continue learning the best that we can. You should have this page in front of you. While we're filling out this page, you're going to want to use your notes that look like this from the other day. If you were absent and haven't been able to get with me for those notes, please ask the sub for those notes. She should have some copies printed for you. Okay. And we're going to fill out this page together. All right. So looking at this page, you should have filled out the vocabulary as a bell ringer. Okay. So the first one, traveling around another object in space. Another word for orbit. I want you to circle the word orbit. It is revolution or revolve. Now, just so you know, those are the same word. They mean the same thing. I could say the moon has completed one revolution around the earth, or I could say the moon revolves around the earth in about a month. Either one, it means orbit. Okay, moon, another name for moon is lunar. All right. Number 3 says how much time passes before a moon phase repeats. Okay, it's going to be every 28 to 30 days because that's how long it takes the moon to fully revolve around the earth and start its revolution over. Number 4 is asking for the number of days between each moon phase. That is 3 to 4 days. Okay. Number 5, when the lighted portion of the moon is decreasing and the light is on the left. Now remember, the amount of the moon that is lit up by the sun is always the same. Half of it's always lit up. But what this means is we are seeing less of the lighted portion of the moon from the earth. So when it looks like it's decreasing, the light is on the left. The word is waning. Now in tutorials, we decided this sounded like whining, waning, whining. So this is like the moon is whining, like, oh no, I'm shrinking and disappearing. So waning is whining because it's disappearing. Okay, number 6, when the lighted portion of the moon is increasing and the light is on the right. Okay, again, this means we are seeing more of that lighted portion of the moon. It means waxing. And we decided this sounds like Karate Kid. So you could hold up your right hand and do the wax on motion. So wax on, the moon is going to look as if it's growing over the next few days. Okay, and the last one, number of days when you skip a phase is 7 days. Remember the rhyme that we wrote down on our notes, 7 days, skip a phase. Okay, if you are still writing down these answers, please raise your hand so the sub can pause the video so that you can finish writing down your answers before we move to the next part. Okay, so now here we are going to be labeling the moon phases. Now remember, you've got to look at where the lighted portion is. This one has the light on the right. And I do want you to write what I'm writing as we go through this. This one has the light on the left. And then finally, this one has the light on the right. So we're going to pause the video here, and I want everyone to use your notes page. Go back to this notes page right here if you need to, and see if you can figure out the name of these moon phases. And then when everyone's figured that out, we'll come back and check our answers. Okay, so with the light on the right, and we have that just a little bit of a banana moon, that is the waxing crescent. Here with the light on the left, and it's a large portion of light on the left. So we know that the moon will look as if it's getting smaller over time. And this is the waning gibbous. Okay, and then finally we have the light on the right. So we know we're in those growing phases, and it looks like half a moon. So we know this is a quarter, and since it's in the growing phase with the light on the right, we know it's the first quarter. Okay, now for the next questions, I'm actually going to insert a video I took while I was on a walk earlier today. So you're going to draw the moon phase in the video. You're going to describe how you know which moon phase it is. And then you're going to explain if the moon is going to appear to grow or shrink over the next few days and explain how you know. I am on a walk right now while I'm quarantined, and it is still light outside. And I just wanted to show you guys that what we talked about is true. For some of you who hadn't seen before, the moon can be visible during the day. Okay, and that's because it's always there. We just see it better at night because it's easier to see anything that's lit up. Like it's easier to see a flashlight when it's dark outside. So, and then my next question for you, this moon that I can see during the day today, what phase is it right now? And will the moon appear to be getting bigger over time, or will it appear to be getting smaller? Okay, so the moon phase that I saw was the waxing crescent going into the first quarter. So it depends on how you look at it, but I think it was probably closer to the first quarter. We had the light on the right. So there's my picture. How do you know which moon phase it is? Your answer may be slightly different, but I would say it is the first quarter. Because it looks like half a moon. With the light on the right. Okay, and so then it says, is the moon going to appear to grow or shrink over the next few days? And how do you know? I'm hoping your answer said something about waxing because the light is on the right. So the moon will appear to grow because the light is on the right. Which means the moon is waxing. Oh, there's that messed up part of my screen. Let me move this up. which means the moon is waxing. So check your answer. If you need the sub to pause the video here so you can adjust your answer, go ahead and raise your hand, but make sure you have a full answer written down. Okay, so right here, remember that this is the alien eye view where you're in a spaceship above the Earth and the moon and looking down. And what it shows us is that the sun here, the sun is on the right. Okay, and so the right side of the moon is lit up in every one of these little moons as they orbit the Earth. But what we're wondering is what we're actually going to see from the Earth. And so if you remember, I told you to scratch out the side that we can't see from Earth and look at it as just what we could see if we were standing on the Earth. So for A, we can only see that dark portion. So that would be the new moon. Okay, so then it goes to C. Again, you're going to scratch out the portion you can't see and look at it as if you were standing on the Earth. And I can see, like right here, the light or the shadow is on the left, the light is on the right, and it looks like half a moon. So we've got that first quarter. Okay, and then if we do this again, we scratch out the back of letter D. Now here, looking from Earth, the shadow part is still on the left, but the light part is on the right. Now, it's a large portion of light, but a small portion of shadow. So a larger bit of light, not quite full, we know that's a gibbous. And since the light is on the right, it is the waxing gibbous. Okay, I want to pause the video here, and I want you to do E, G, and H on your own. Now remember, when you get to G and H, you're going to have to basically turn your paper upside down so that you can see the view from Earth, because it will look different than the way you're seeing it right now. So turn your paper upside down, shade out the part that you won't see from Earth, and see if you can identify those on your own. Okay, so you can see it with your paper turned upside down. The lighted portion should look like the left, and the shadow portion should look like the right. So from Earth, you're going to see half of the moon, and you're going to see that left half. So G is actually going to be the last quarter. I skipped E, so let's go back to E. If you scratch out that side that you can't see, what would I see from Earth? I would see nothing but light, so that would be the full moon. Okay, and then finally we have H, and when I look at H with my paper turned as if I'm from Earth, standing on that Earth, the lighted portion is on the left, the shadowed portion is on the right, and it's a small portion of light on the left. So since it's a smaller portion, I know it's a crescent, and the light on the left, meaning it's a waning crescent. Okay, if you still need to get this information down on your paper, raise your hand at this point and let the sub know so we can pause the video. Okay, we're moving on to the last portion of this notes page. So in the space below, you're going to draw a diagram with the sun on the right. So put your sun on the right, and you're going to only draw the Earth and where the waning crescent moon would be. Now, you're going to draw it like this up here, but with only one moon. So I want to see that alien eye moon. So we're going to pause the video here so you can try to draw it yourself. Draw it lightly in case you need to erase if you make a mistake. Okay, so I'm going to draw my Earth first. It should definitely be larger than my moon. So here's my Earth. I'm just going to label it with an E. If I look up here, my waning crescent moon was H. And so I just want to draw my Earth and put my moon in the location that H is in. So that would be about here. Okay. And the shadow portion is going to be on this side. Okay. And so if a test question asked me what moon phase this would be, well, it's going to be my waning crescent, because that's what I would see from Earth. So I would have my shadow on the right and my light on the left. Okay, you're going to put these notes in your binder when you're finished with them, but you can use them on the quiz that you are about to take.